Hey everyone, as we are getting into the end game of D4, I want to make some guides on some of the end game activities and how to best maximize them to your benefit. So the first thing we're going to go over today is Helltide farming and what it is and how to benefit the most from the time that you have with Helltide. So Helltide is an event that will spawn somewhere on the map every few hours. When it's up, you can very clearly tell it's there as the areas will become red and there'll be a marker that says how long you have to farm said Helltide. These will last about an hour or so, and for the whole time during Helltide being active, the whole zone will be filled up with a bunch of demons that are all over the place, and they will drop a special currency that you can use to open some chests around the map that will give you a way to target farm specific pieces of gear that you want. Not only that, but during Helltide, you will also be able to get special materials that are not obtainable through any other means. So we have field roses, which is a herb that you can either find on the ground on special rare herb nodes, or you can get from certain elite bosses and monsters during the Helltide itself. And we also have Forgotten Souls. These also can be found from these special hell infused rocks, or it can also be gotten from elites and bosses during the event. Now, both of these currencies are required to upgrade your gear to the maximum level. And at the same time, if you want to swap out your legendary effects on some of your gear, you'll also need to use them there. These are absolutely required for the end game, and you will need to farm them quite a bit because outside of just upgrading, you also need them to be able to reroll your gear. And because of that, you will always have to come due to Helltide no matter what. And it's probably a good idea to get used to farming it every time it's up. So how exactly do we farm Helltide? Well, what we want to do for the whole hour is we can decide on what we want to farm. Do we want to focus on getting the currency to open more chests to give us more loot? Or do we want to focus on running around and farming the special herbs and special rocks to have more resources at the end? Well, if you want to farm the rocks and herbs, again, it's going to depend on how lucky you get, but you could expect to see anywhere between 30 to 50 roses and around maybe 10 to 20 souls per Helltide event. Now, you can farm this on either World Tier 3 or World Tier 4. Doesn't matter. It's exactly the same on both tiers. But obviously, you would want to do this in World Tier 4 if you can handle World Tier 4 to get ancestral gear and to have a chance at getting better items. If you are looking to farm for the rare currency, which allows you to open the chests around the Helltide, depending on how fast you are and how efficient you are at clearing, you can expect to open around 6 to 7 chests for a full hour of farming. The chests range from requiring anywhere between 75 to 175 of the gems to open. And the lower tier ones will have the more basic currency, such as helmets or pants or gloves, while the more expensive ones will be the weapon chests that require 125 or 150 to be able to open. The other thing to mention as well is there will be a rare mysterious cache available during the Helltide. Now, these have quite a few spawns, and on D4 builds, there is a map of all of them. And this is all of the current known location. Now, this map might change and update as more Helltides get done, as there's currently not much data for dry steps. But if we were to look at where the Helltide currently is during this video, we can see that these are the current 4 data mine locations for mysterious chests. What these is a very special chest that requires 175 of the currency to open, but these will give you a very large amount of forgotten souls and fiend roses, which makes it very, very efficient to be on the lookout for them and to make sure you open them during each Helltide, no matter what you're doing, as it'll also throw quite a few legendaries at you, and it'll be a great way to be able to farm some resources as well. One thing to mention, while you are opening resources and collecting them around the map, they also will give you some crystals, which means that after the end of the Helltide, you actually will have quite a few lying around, so you can open a few chests even if you don't choose to kill anything. What I would recommend for you to do if you are looking to farm the events is to run around and look for the events that are marked with a orange circle on the map and to look for any invasions that pop up. The invasions are really, really good And as long as there's maybe 2 or 3 other people there doing it with you, you should be able to clear it pretty quickly. And you will expect to get maybe around 100 to 150 shards in a single invasion run. And that makes it the most efficient way to farm them in any given moment. Outside that, the events that happen around the world every so often can give you around 20 to 30 and are definitely worth your time, especially since the chests at the end can also have souls and fiend roses inside of them, which means you can get both at the same time. Otherwise, if you don't see any events, and if there's no invasion currently going on in the region, what you can do is just run around and kill mobs. It is an event where you are incentivized to just simply kill as many monsters as you can and to just grind out for the whole hour. Now, I do want to mention some things about this event. If you were to die during the Helltide, you will lose a portion of everything you farmed. So make sure you stay safe and don't overpull, as you could potentially lose out too many shards and not be able to open a chest because of it. You don't lose your fiend roses or your souls while doing the event. They don't have to worry about those. But if your goal is to open more chests, you have a chance to actually lose everything. Other thing to mention as well is that at the end of the event, you will lose all of the shards that you farmed. So you have to spend everything right before it ends. That means if you have just enough to open one more chest, but there's only a minute or two left, I would rush to go open a chest. And then I would just be done with the event rather than try to farm a little bit more, as unfortunately they do not carry over and all of them are immediately lost. Last thing I want to mention about Helltide is a efficient way of farming them. So what I would recommend to do is if you have a few friends, to do this with your friends. Either if you're looking to farm the chests or if you're looking to farm the resources, it's always much easier in a party. Personally, what I've done every time when I've done Helltide is I will try to find 1 or 2 friends that are online. We group up and we run together. Typically, I'm just looking for resources. I don't really care too much about the chest. And I will get 175 shards while farming resources. So I will be able to open up the mysterious chest every Helltide. But what me and my friends do is we just spread out within the zone. We stay kind of close to each other so we don't have to run too far to each other if we need to meet up. And we just simply look for the rare materials. Because we're in a group, that means we can spread out and farm the whole area a little bit more efficiently. And if one of us sees either a special rock or a special herb, we will all go to them, meet up, and if one of them clicks the node, all of us will actually get the materials. Because of that, in a solo run, you will see about half to a third the materials a group will see, just because the sheer amount of area you can cover is substantially greater. You don't obviously have to do this in a party, but it's also a lot safer, especially because there is a big boss that sometimes can spawn during the Helltides, which is around 20 levels above you and could potentially kill you very quickly, but is also a very good way of getting shards if you do manage to kill it. It is very difficult and does have quite a lot of health, so you do need multiple people. And it's not something you could realistically solo unless you are extremely overgeared. But even if you are going to solo it, it will take you a few minutes, which doesn't really make it too efficient to do. But again, if you don't have friends or if you do not want to do this in a party, it's more than fine to do it solo as well. You will just lose out on a little bit of efficiency. That's all there really is to say for this video. I hope you have fun farming Helltide. I hope you get all the resources you need. And I hope this helped you understand at least a little bit more about what is Helltide and how to best go about farming it efficiently. If you have any more questions, please leave them below in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer any of them for you. Or you can feel free to come on my Twitch and ask me there. I stream every day and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you guys in the next one.